my fellow geeks. I am the Real Popcorn Geek, and I like to talk geek about geek genres. And today I have a crowdfunded action-adventure comic book by way of Kickstarter called Collision Force, created by Jared Burris and Joe Kasmer. Now, this is something I want to show off for when I received it last month in the mail, but I was missing something a little vital, like a camera. As you can see, my order came with a couple of items, one being this small one-sheet-style piece of artwork by Felipe Isaac Gomez with main character Lars Bowman going to town with a flamethrower and Ripper, his pet coyote dog hybrid, looking on maniacally. Attached to this piece of artwork is a two-sided bookmark, with one side being the Collision Force website, which will take you to their Facebook page, and the other side being a character description for Ripper. Collision Force issue number 1 comes with 25 total story pages, with 22 being the main story and the other 3 being a bonus story, a prequel that details how Lars Bowman came into contact with Ripper. Think of it as a post-credit scene, only one that doesn't promise a future story that may or may not happen. Thumbs up, I like that approach. Now, what is Collision Force? For that, let's go to their Kickstarter page. It states, after vanishing for nearly a decade, the anti-terrorist team of Collision Force reunites to ruthlessly vanquish new threats to the United States. Collision Force, a team of elite soldiers formed in the aftermath of 9/11, ferreted out and eliminated any terrorist threats to the United States without any hesitation or mercy. Lars Bowman led Collision Force with unrelenting patriotism, love for his teammates, and a seething hatred for any threats to American freedom. The team gained a legendary reputation through their resolute commitment to protecting America by any means necessary. The team disbanded after a catastrophic early 2010s mission in Morocco that forced its members to go underground. Lars and his confidant Shai Diakis continued to battle against terror in the shadows, unbeknownst to the rest of the team. Now, a dangerous threat to freedom-loving U.S. citizens has emerged, and only one team, Collision Force, can confront it. Can the team hone its killing edge in another era against the most dangerous enemy you've ever faced? The first issue starts off with Lars and his right-hand man, Shai Diakis, on a mission, and while successful, doesn't quite go as planned and leaves the squad, which their enemies thought to be dead, in a very vulnerable position. Issue number 1 is very much like the pilot of a television series that's a mixture of both old and new. It doesn't do a drawn-out whole season origin story. They keep it nice and tight, 4 pages total. Much like the intro to the A-Team series, or the opening of the 2008 Edward Norton Incredible Hulk movie. Wham bam, thank you ma'am, now let's get on to the story. However, unlike your typical 2-hour pilot that can completely stand on its own, you want to see more, but if there isn't, you're not going to be blue-balled as a viewer. Now, don't get me wrong. There's no real cliffhanger to be had, but much like the end of the original Star Wars, you're left with saying, that was great, but where's the next one? Because I didn't see Darth Vader's ship explode, and who is this Emperor? So there is a much bigger story to be had, but the creators have promised that if the first issue you read was issue number 2 or 3, that you wouldn't be lost. Going back to the 80s or 90s episodic format but in comic book form. You know, like comics used to do. Now, would I recommend this? Oh, hell yes. Especially if you're a fan of action movies and TV shows. And as the creators Burris and Kasmer has stated, it is an R-rated G.I. Joe, but without the sci-fi. It is violent and not for kids, which is a huge breath of fresh air because there are far too many superhero comics on the market. So much so, that's what people associate with the comic books the most. I look forward to backing issue number 2 when the campaign begins. And when that campaign begins, I will share it with you all in case you decide it's something you might want to invest in. If you made it this far, thank you and have a good day.